So if you know 2 out of 3 nominal, real, and inflation, you can calculate the third using this equation. For example, ten-year nominal treasury bonds have a yield of, let's look at it, US 10 years, 4.70. And 10 years TIPS, which are inflation protected treasuries, have a yield which is in real terms of 2.316%. What is the implied inflation? If we solve for inflation using this equation, 1 plus inflation rate is equal 1 plus nominal rate divided by 1 plus real rate. Hence, inflation rate, or let me do this, inflation rate is all of that minus 1. So 1 plus 4.70% divided by 1 plus 2.316% minus 1. Hence 2.33%. This is effectively the break-even inflation rate that would make you indifferent between buying the nominal bond versus real. If, for example, for whatever reasons you believe over the next 10 years inflation is going to average 3%, which one of these you should buy? Nominal or real?
What was the question? Can you say one more time? Sorry.
Break-even inflation rate is 233, and TIPS compensate you for inflation. If your belief is that inflation is going to be 10%, 3% on average over the next 10 years, given this, which one of these you should buy, nominal or TIPS, the inflation protected one? Remember, at this rate, you're indifferent between the two, okay? If your belief is that inflation is going to be higher, which one protects you against high inflation? TIPS. So you need to buy TIPS. If you believe that inflation is going to be lower, you should go for the nominal one. That's the implied inflation now. Let's see what it was a year ago, before all these interest rate changes. Let's look at the 10-year rate exactly 1 year ago. I mean, closest one is 399, so it closed at 406. It closed at 399.80. let's get the real one. One year ago it was 156.60. What was break-even inflation rate a year ago? Ten-year average. Can you guys make that calculation for me? Everything you need is right in front of you. What do you guys think?
.0239.
2.39%?
Yes.
Let's see. 1 plus the nominal, 3.998%, divided by 1 plus real, 1.566%, minus 1, yep, 2.39%. Okay, let's do 2 years ago. Okay, closest is 1017. Real was negative 0.9860. Mortgage 740. Let me make sure that I have the real correct. I'm not exactly sure I did. I want to make sure that I didn't get, yeah, it's correct. So, break-even inflation 2 years ago. Somebody tell me it, what they think it was. Just to bring everything to view. You may get confused with the negative rate, but even negative nominal rates are possible, let alone negative real rates. Remember, this was pretty much in the middle of COVID, October 2021. And if you have a number,
2.585%.
sounds about right. Let's see, 1 plus the nominal 1.574. Divide that 1 plus a negative rate, so it's going to be 1 minus 986%, 0.986%.
Wait, why is it negative? Why is it minus 0.986?
Yeah.
But why?
What do you mean, why? That was the market.
I can't see the negative on there.
Yeah, it's negative right here. Let me make it bigger again. So it's 2.59%. So 2 years ago, market believed that 10-year average inflation was going to be about 2.6. Do you guys know what Fed's target inflation is policy-wise?
6%.
2.
2.
Okay? So market knew 2 years ago the average 2-year inflation was going to be much higher than what Fed thought it would be. They discounted that a little bit last year and a little bit now. For example, let's see what market thinks of average 5-year inflation. Nominal. Let's see. US 5 years. Nominal is 4.712. Real 2.424. Somebody tell me that number, somebody different, please. If I wanted to talk to the same people, I would send the rest of you home and say, watch the video.
Is it 2.23%?